Imagine, police arrest you for a crime you haven't committed yet. Sounds like science fiction? It's already happening. Today in this video, we're exposing the shocking truth about AI that's already predicting crimes before they happen. Police in major cities are using powerful algorithms to know where and when the next crime will occur. They're analyzing your social media, your location history, even your friends. But are we ready for a world where machines decide our fate before we've done anything? Stay tuned, because what you'll learn today will forever change how you see the future. So here's how this actually works. Imagine a giant computer brain that's devouring data about every single one of us 24/7. In Chicago, a system called the Heat List is already creating lists of people most likely to commit crimes. How? It knows everything. Your Facebook posts, who you talk to, where you go, even when you leave home. Hunch Lab analyzes city neighborhoods and tells police, tomorrow at 3 p.m., right here, there's gonna be a robbery. And guess what? They're often right. But here's what's truly terrifying. This is just the beginning. The system doesn't just study criminals, it studies victims too. It can predict who will be the next target. Sounds protective? Wait until you hear about the mistakes it makes. This will shock you. LA's PredPol system started sending patrols to specific areas before anything even happened there. The algorithm analyzed crime history, weather patterns, even local companies' paydays. And it started predicting with 90% accuracy. Cop cars would show up on streets hours before robberies. Crime actually dropped. But not because criminals stopped stealing. They just moved to different areas, places where the algorithm didn't expect to see them. The system didn't stop crime, it just relocated it. In New Orleans, AI started predicting which houses would get robbed next. It studied residents' social media, their vacation photos, posts about being away. When a family posted beach pics, the algorithm marked their house as an easy target. And it was right 8 times out of 10. The scariest part? This stuff works. It really works. The system learned to recognize when you're about to break, when you're on the edge, when your life's about to go downhill. But here's the question that haunts me. If a machine can predict crime, why can't it stop it? The answer will shock you because it gets way worse. Now here's the scariest part. What happens when the system gets it wrong? And it gets it wrong way more than you think. Imagine, you wake up and police are already at your door. Not because you did something, but because an algorithm decided you're dangerous. This isn't fiction. In Chicago, the system automatically adds people from certain neighborhoods to risk lists. Guess which neighborhoods? Yeah, where Black and Latino people live. The algorithm studied 20 years of arrest history. What did it see? That poor neighborhoods get more arrests. Not because there are more criminals there, but because there are more cops there. But the machine doesn't understand that. To it, it's just numbers, and now it's reproducing racism on autopilot. In Florida, they kept a 15-year-old kid under surveillance for a year because the system decided he'd commit assault. His crime? He was friends with people who had legal troubles. They destroyed his life for a crime he never committed. And here's the most terrifying part. The system learns from its mistakes. The more it gets wrong about certain groups, the more convinced it becomes that they're actually dangerous. It's a vicious circle from hell. But that's not all. What you'll see next will make you wish this stayed science fiction. Now think about this. Imagine someone's walking down the street and suddenly police stop them. Not because they stole something, but because a computer decided they'll do it tomorrow. In some cities, high-risk people get regularly called to police stations for preventive chats. They're warned, you're being watched. Imagine living under that pressure, knowing every step is recorded, analyzed, judged. This destroys the foundation of justice. A person should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. But now machines decide guilt before trial. Where's the justice in that? Where's presumption of innocence? And the scariest part? People start trusting machines more than common sense. Cops say, if the algorithm says this person's dangerous, then they are. The most important decisions about human lives are being handed over to a heartless code. The system turns suspicion into a verdict. It makes everyone a potential criminal. But what's coming next surpasses all fears. The future that awaits looks like a real nightmare. And now the scariest part, where all this is heading. What's happening now is just the beginning of the nightmare. They're already developing systems that read emotions from faces. Street cameras scan every passerby looking for signs of aggression, stress, suspicious behavior. Frown the wrong way, walking too fast, looking around. the system will notice and send an alert. In China, they're testing technology that predicts crimes by how you walk. The algorithm studies how criminals walk and recognizes them among thousands of people. But the most terrifying part? Systems are starting to read minds. Neural networks analyze brain activity and detect aggressive intentions before a person even realizes them. Minority Report is becoming reality before our eyes. Imagine a world where every emotion is controlled, every thought analyzed, every step predicted, where machines decide who's destined to become a criminal from birth. This isn't science fiction. This is the plan for the next 10 years. But the scariest question remains unanswered, and it will change everything. So we're living in a world where machines already decide who among us will become criminals. Systems that read social media, track every step, predict the future with terrifying accuracy. But the scariest thing isn't what they're doing now. The scariest thing is what comes next. Remember what you saw today: algorithms that shift crime from neighborhood to neighborhood, people under surveillance for crimes they never committed, racism coded into artificial intelligence. This is just the beginning. If AI can already predict crimes, what happens when it learns to read thoughts? When every emotion, every glance, every dream is under control? When a child's birth comes with a forecast, 85% probability of becoming a criminal. The future is already here. The only question is whether we're ready for it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe because there are even more shocking technologies coming that are changing the world right now. A world where privacy is dead and freedom is just an illusion.